Hey, this is Mike. Yes, I am back in North Myrtle Beach visiting Judd Kuhn Chevrolet, and I'm checking out a 2015 Chevy Silverado 1500 High Country. And the High Country trim level has a ton of features, and you're gonna see every one of those features in this video, so hang on. We're gonna check it out. As you can see, this one's black with the 20-inch chrome wheels. And that just looks, let me see if I can get a side shot here, amazing to me. You've got all the other chrome, say on the doors and the side mirror. You also have the side steps. But really, what sets this truck off to me is those 20-inch chrome wheels. It has four-wheel disc brakes, which not all trucks have. Some of them have the drum brakes in the back. Okay, so checking out the front here, you can see an awesome chrome grille popping out of the black. It has the chrome accents here at the bottom, as well as the chrome tow hooks. You've got the chrome accents around the fog lights. You have the parking sensors in the front as well as the back. And it has the projector headlights, and how they're powered by halogen bulbs. You can tell by the slight yellow tint, but they're halogens for powering this. And then you've got the reflector headlights down there for your high beams. And you've got the chrome High Country badge there on the side, which looks amazing with the mountain range going on there. Multiple arete. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it out on the inside. But first, let me give you a glimpse of the window sticker. Of course, you can use the pause button if you want to check it out in more detail. Okay, so let's check it out. Now, this one has remote start, which I've already started it. Reason why, it's like 100,000 degrees today, and I want some air conditioning when I get in the truck. So it does have the remote start. I'll show you the key when we get inside. But here's the inside of the door. You've got the two different colored browns, and with some contrast stitching there. And then the wood grain really shines through, screaming quality and class. Of course, you have that shelf system there, and the top and bottom there with the places to put bottles, 2 bottles, and then you got a place to put your stuff. That's a really good place, I guess, to put your cell phone or whatever. You got the High Country badge going on across here, which looks awesome. Power adjustable seats here on the passenger side with the power adjustable lumbar support. And check out these seats, heated and cooled. Leather seats with the perforations. I don't know if you can see the perforations there. Super classy with some decent bolstering, but not too much where it's intrusive on your body. And then you've got that kind of an off-white trim around the edges. And check out that High Country embroidery in the headrest. Very impressive looking interior on this truck. And the seats, I mean, they're super comfortable seats. Decent leg room. This seat's not all the way back, so let me go ahead and put it all the way back so we can see the leg room in the front, as well as how much we're gonna have left in the back. So you got a place to put a full-size file folder there, and then you've got a locking compartment here, 2 glove compartments, top and bottom. And the top one's locking, and I like the way they have 2 because I can clutter up the bottom one, and then I can just keep some quick access to stuff on the top, and that way you don't have to dig through the clutter to get to what I want. I can keep what I want in the top, and it's lockable too, so it can actually have some level of securing my stuff. You've got a handle there to get in, as well as the steps. Okay, so since this is the crew cab truck, let's see how much. Yeah, we still have some decent room here in the back, even with the front seat all the way back. But check out here, you've got that same tier system with the places to put stuff, but the bottle holder is actually up here more to the front of the door, which is really handy if you're sitting in the back and you just reach over and grab your bottle. And you got that chrome or metallic threshold there. Seats in the back do pretty much the same styling. They have the low-rise headrest, which helps with your visibility, and you do have the perforated seats back here as well with some contrast stitching, and then it's got those white accents there. You can put stuff in here, and then these are for your air to go through your cooled seats, which is pretty cool. This folds down when you don't need a center passenger and you have some cup holders and kind of an armrest there. This one has the rear entertainment system up here. Has this little screen that pops out, so the backseat drivers can be happy. It's a Blu-ray, but also you can put stuff in the SD card, USB, and those RCA jacks there, AV jacks. You got a 12-volt power supply as well with some pockets back here. So that's pretty cool. Not a lot of trucks, that's usually for SUVs and stuff, not a lot of trucks have the rear entertainment system. Another thing is you can lift these seats up and you've got a pretty decent storage space under there, and it keeps everything secure so it's not rolling around in the floorboard. I think that's really handy. All right, so you can see it's a pretty good sized door compared to the front, and you know, pretty good amount of room back there. Check out the exhaust tips here with the Chevrolet symbol, chrome tips. Okay, so let's take a look here in the back. You've got your towing package with your 4- and 7-way plugs outlets there. You got the backup sensors here in the back as well. And you notice the bumper is actually a shiny black to match the rest of the truck, which is pretty neat. Which makes the High Country emblem pop out at you, plus the big bow tie pop out at you as well. Okay, it also has a backup camera. You can see the lens hidden under there. And the tailgate is a locking tailgate, so that way you can secure your stuff better. But check this out. It lowers down smooth. And it's assisted going up, so it's a little bit easier to raise. So you're not slamming your tailgate. Sprayed bed liner, which is highly recommended by me. Go ahead and do that from the factory. Gives you longevity, and it looks really cool too. So you've got your standard tie downs there and there. And cool thing about the Chevrolet trucks, check it out. It's got a step right there. I can step here, I can grab my hand right up here, and I can jump right in. I'm not going to do it with my camera in my hand, but it's real easy to just jump in the back of the truck with that step. That's one of the best ideas ever for a pickup truck. All right, so easily lifting the tailgate. Let's take a look under the back so you can see the exhaust and stuff. That's always fun. Let that 5.3 liter breathe. All right. Here's the fuel door. Fuel door has the fuel cap. Now the fuel cap has this little tether, plastic tether, and it serves a purpose other than just not losing your fuel cap, but also you can hang it up on this little place right here. So you can take the cap off and hang it on this little hanger, and it hangs your fuel cap out of the way, and it doesn't dangle down and scratch your paint. So remember to use that. Give you another point of view here in the back. And this lifts up as well on this side, and you've got the same storage as the other side except for a little bit bigger. With the 60-40 split, you're able to utilize this space for cargo space and still have a passenger or 2 passengers and cargo space on the other side. So you can adjust your ratio to passenger to cargo space. Here's the side mirror. Cool thing, it has this little wide angle lens to see in your blind spot, but what I find is cool about it is it's completely flush with the rest of the mirror. It's not popping out. I don't know why that's cool to me, but it is. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. All right. .3 liter Ecotec 3, 355 horsepower V8. Covered up with plastic. Well, it's not all of it, but I actually see some metal on this side, which is cool. Smooth running engine. All right, so let's get behind the wheel and see all the features for the driver to play with. All right, here we are on the inside. And like I said, this is a very impressive truck. Not only do you have the color of the brown with the high country trim level, you have the two different color browns, and then you have this metallic accent going on there. Then you got the wood grain around. Really, really neat. So let's go ahead and start over here on the driver's door. You have the same styling as the other side, except for you have some more controls. You have the ability to preset your power seat. So this seat has, not only does it have the power seat, but also the power lumbar support. So you can go ahead and set your seat the way you want it. Plus you have two presets, plus you have a easy exit mode, so it'll get the seat out of the way and all that stuff. So really cool features there. And then down here on the door, we've got the child locks, a button for the child locks in the back. You don't actually have to go in there and open up the door and flick a switch or anything. You can actually just push this button and the child locks are active. You can also lock out the windows. If you don't want them to roll up and down the windows in the back, you can lock that as well. Here's the window controls for all 4 windows there. Your door lock controls are here, and then your side mirror controls are here, right and left, and then you can adjust them with this little pad right here. But this center button, I'm going to push that so you can see what it does. It folds in your side mirror. They're power folding. Isn't that cool? And check it out, that one's an auto dim side mirror. It's auto dimming now because I have the shade covering up the light sensor, so it thinks it's nighttime. Isn't that cool? And then the rear view mirror is doing the same thing. But we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so this one has the premium Bose sound system too. So I mean, I can't turn any music on because it violates copyright, but you will be very impressed when you hear the sound system in this vehicle. Okay, so you got some knobs and stuff over here. Your headlight controls are here. It has an automatic feature, and then your parking lights, and then your headlights, and then you can turn them off there by turning it. It'll always go back to the automatic though, so that way next time you start the vehicle it'll go back to automatic. To turn on the fog lights, you just push that in, so it'll turn the fog lights on and off, and it'll give you an indicator here that they're on, which is pretty cool. Up here is your 4-wheel drive controls. Really easy. All you have to do right now is in 2-wheel drive high, you can put it to automatic, which will cycle into 4-wheel drive when needed. You've got 4-wheel drive high, and then you got 4-wheel drive low. Real easy to use that. Trailer brake gain control here. So if you have a trailer that has a trailer brake, you can adjust the gain once it's plugged in right there. It's already installed from the factory. You don't have to have some cheesy thing mounted underneath the dash. It's right there. Okay, so let's take a look here at the steering wheel. The steering wheel is a leather wrapped brown steering wheel. Super classy, comfortable, soft. I mean, it kind of gives in your hand when you push it. I don't know if you can see. Let's see here. If you can see actually me pushing it in. It does give quite a bit in your hand, so it doesn't fatigue your hand while you're doing, ride on long trips or you're holding the steering wheel. And it has this kind of a shiny metallic accent around the sides, which looks just amazing. Okay, so here on the left side, you have your cruise control, and you can turn it on and off right here. Make sure it's turned on before you use it. You can turn it off there, and you can set it and then change your speeds here. Now there's a forward collision warning system which you can turn on and off with this button, and this will alert you if you get too close to something, like you're going to hit something. So if I push that, you see right there, collision alert, and it's going to set your distance. If I keep pushing, it cycles through to off, far distance, medium, and then a short distance. I would prefer the far distance, and that way you give you the most reaction time. But of course it depends on the traffic and all that stuff, so it's really easy to just kind of cycle through with that button there. Heated seat controls there, and when you push it, heated steering wheel. When you push it, it has a little indicator light that's showing you that it is actually on. Not gonna leave it on today because it's extremely hot outside. It says 97 degrees, but it feels hotter than that. Okay, so here on the right, you've got your voice recognition. This is for to make calls as well with your Bluetooth phone. Once it's paired, you can push that and say call, Lee Forrest or Greg McCracken, anybody that happens to be in your phone book. You just say it like it's spelled in your phone book, and it'll call them. Now you can also answer calls, hang up calls there. Voice recognition is a really good feature, Bluetooth and all that stuff. It really helps out with you staying productive while you're driving and doing it safely. So these buttons, you've got these arrows and then that check mark, that corresponds with this screen in between the gauges. So you notice the gauges has your RPMs there to the left, your speedometer there to the right, and then your battery voltage, your temperature, gas gauge, and then your oil pressure there on the far right top. Now notice on the gas gauge it has a little pump and a little arrow to the left showing you which side your fuel door is on, which is really cool. But this center screen here in the center, right now it's in this digital speedometer. It has the digital compass, it's facing west, and your how many miles the truck has, and then what gear you're in. But you notice it has that, but it has this little scroll thing. So I'm just going to switch hands here, and I'm going to scroll down. Okay, so this is the info screen. You'll notice it has this little icon, which I'll show you that in a second, what that means. But that's the info screen. I'll show you how it relates to other stuff. So scrolling down gives me more information. Right now is a trip A. It gives your mileage, but also your average fuel economy. Trip B, which is basically a second trip. Fuel range, how many miles you can drive before you actually have to put gas in it. Oil life, time, the amount before you have to change the oil. Tire pressure in each tire, which is really cool. And you don't actually have to go in there and look. If the tire is low, it's going to let you know. You don't have to actually go and check on this all the time. And then your average fuel economy for the last 50 miles. And then you have a blank screen in case you just, it's distracting, you don't want a bunch of stuff there. Then it scrolls back to your speedometer. So now if I scroll to the left, I get out of the info screen, and then it shows the info screen option with a whole bunch of other options. So I'm going to scroll down and go into audio, and this will just show us what the radio is doing. Scrolling back there, we'll go to phone, and of course I don't have a phone connected, so it's going to let me know, but you'll have more information there once you connect a phone. The navigation screen, this is where once you have a navigation route in your system and you're driving, it'll give you turn-by-turn directions on the big screen as well as here. Then you can go into settings and change all kinds of stuff, like kilometers per hour, stuff like that. Alright, so I'll go back to this is kind of the default screen, the digital speedometer for most people, so I'm going to leave it right there. So that's just kind of a quick overview of what the different information that you can get in that screen with your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. You're using the little buttons there. Okay, so this one has the column shifter that shifts through the 6-speed automatic transmission, and you do have the trailer mode, so you can turn that on when you're pulling a trailer, letting the transmission know that it's got some extra weight to deal with. So there's a plus and minus, which I'll show you that in a second. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse. So right now, you'll notice with the backup sensors popping up, I pulled this truck really close to another truck just to show you about this backup camera and the sensors. So you can see we've got some alarms going on there. Not only do we have alarms in right there in front of our face, also the seat vibrates and lets me know. Like if I start backing up more, it's going to keep vibrating, which is really cool. So you don't actually have all this beeping going on. And here's the backup camera. Now this is what I wanted to show you. We're not even in the red zone yet, right? Okay, but look, it looks like we've got a lot of room here, but we're not even in the red zone. We're still in this yellow zone, okay? The last yellow line, basically, to that truck. But let me just show you how close we actually are. Let me show you here in the side mirror, just so you can see what that looks like. All right. Hopefully you'll be able to tell. It's kind of hard, I guess, in the video. But let's look back here. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to get out and show you because I want you to make sure you see what I'm talking about. These backup cameras have these lines, and you see that? We're not very far. And that's in the yellow. That's not even in the red yet. Red is like super close. So those lines are there for a reason, so you really got to pay attention. It looks like you've got more room than what you actually have. So let me put it back in reverse so we can get an idea. The seat's vibrating at me. But you can see there, it kind of looks like we've got a pretty good amount of room there, just because of the distortion of the lens. So just want to pay attention to that. You know, you notice we do have the parking sensors for the front as well, which will illuminate if I get close to something in the front. And that's helpful if I'm backing up and I'm turning and swinging in the front end, but you know, also going forward and stuff too. Okay, so also let's go ahead and continue down with the shifter. There's neutral, there's drive, and there's the normal drive position where it'll cycle through the gears for you. Now it does have a manual mode, so I'm going to go down in that manual mode. So you notice it says M1. So using this plus and minus, I can cycle through the gear ratios manually. It goes up to 6. I don't know if it'll actually, I don't know if it's actually going to let you start off at 6th gear, but it does give you the ability to cycle through the gear ratios manually. So this is handy if you need to downshift going down hills or something like that. Lots of different reasons, but it does give you that ability. And you notice I am a little bit close to this vehicle up here in front of me, so I'm getting a little bit of a warning there in the front. Alright, so that's that. Your washer, windshield wipers and washers are right there, as well as your turn signal. And here's your key, and there's your key fob. It's just a regular key, and it does have the remote start. To remote start it, you just push the lock button, make sure it's locked, and then push and hold this button and it'll start for you. It takes a few seconds, so you just kind of have to push it and hold it until it starts. But the vehicle has to be secure. I mean, you can't have doors open or anything like that, but then you have to lock it. And so you push the lock button, that makes sure it's locked, and then almost immediately push and hold the remote start button. Right here we've got the air conditioned seats, which I have on right now, which is really saving me. And then you've got the heated seats as well for the winter time. Alright, so here's the center stack. You've got the touchscreen here. And so right now we're kind of in the radio screen. You'll notice it has some icons there at the top. But if you want to get all your icons, you just push the home button there, and look at there. You've got your radio, your phone, navigation, settings, Pandora, weather, video. You can even do texting and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. So pushing the audio button just simply goes into the audio screen, and you can go in the AM, FM, satellite radio, that kind of stuff. Alright, let's go back to the home. I like to go to the home button because it gives me the full screen there. I can hit phone, I'm not paired with anything right now, but if I was paired, contacts, I'll have all my contacts available. Recent calls, you have actually a keypad to dial out. You can handle voicemail if you want to, and you can have more than one phone, but there is a priority system. In other words, one will be priority and the rest of them will not work. But once that one's not in the vehicle, then the next one in that priority list will work. Pushing the home button here, and then you've got the navigation screen, which is probably, yep, it's in night mode because I have the shade covering up the light sensor, but you get to see what it looks like. During the day, this will be a lighter color, but at nighttime, you'll see it as dark, and just the roads illuminate, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can put in a specific address, and it'll take you pretty much anywhere you want, and you can save addresses and all that stuff. So let me push the home button. Pandora is like an internet radio service, and you can play music through your sound system. I mean, through your radio, cell phone. Weather's pretty cool. Check this out. Takes a second because it pulls up a lot of information, but you actually have a detailed radar map of where you're at, and you can zoom in and out and look at all those storms surrounding me, getting ready to attack. On a hot day like today, it's easy to have a thunderstorm. Okay, so let's push home again, and of course you can text, and also this, you have control of your video player back there as well. All right, so here's your control, your volume, tune through the stations, and the home button, which I like to use regularly. Here's your CD player right there, and you can put in the Blu-ray discs and stuff like that in there as well. And just want to show you one more thing. You have the OnStar feature here. It scrolls over and there's one more icon spilling over. Okay, so climate controls down here is a dual zone. So you have the driver and passenger. Right now it's synced to where the driver and passenger have the exact same temperature. So if I move this, the other side will move as well. It'll also show on the screen that I'm moving it. Okay, but if I want to unsync them, all I have to do is start moving the passenger and it'll unsync it. Your fan speeds here, where you want the air to blow in the center, your defrosters front and back, and then you've got your air conditioning and your recirculating the air. Just want to mention about the recirculating the air. It's really good to recirculate the same cold air so you get colder air, but also it keeps outside air from coming in, and that includes outside odor. So if you're driving past a farm or some kind of, smelly environment, you can push that and it'll keep that outside odors from entering the vehicle, which is a pretty cool feature. Okay, so down here, like I said, this truck is loaded with all kinds of cool stuff. Power adjustable pedals. So the accelerator pedal and the brake pedal are adjustable. So I can adjust those in and out. Isn't that cool? With this button here. Because sometimes you get the seat right, the steering wheel right, but then the pedals don't feel right. So you can adjust them, fine tune it to get it just right. Your traction control, you can always turn it off. It's always on unless you turn it off, and it's a feature that you don't really want to turn off unless you are stuck in the mud or snow and you need to spin tires. Your cargo light is right there, and you can turn it on and off there. That's the light that's at the top of the back of the cab that illuminates the entire bed. It's pretty awesome. Parking sensors, you can turn those on and off here in case you need to. Sometimes you're getting close to something, or you're backing up to a trailer and you just don't want to hear the beeping or whatever the response is, vibrating seat or whatever. You can turn that on and off. You have a lane departure warning system. This vehicle keeps an eye on the road, and if you start exiting your lane without your turn signal on, it's going to get your attention and make sure that you're aware that you're exiting that lane. So you have your AC and heated seat controls there for your passenger side. So down here we've got some pretty cool stuff. 3 USB ports behind that cover. This is kind of like a game show, I guess. 12-volt power supply there, and behind this cover, 12-volt power supply. And what's behind this, you'll never guess. It's an 120-volt Edison plug, and I think it's either 125 watts or 150 watts, somewhere in there. It's a pretty good rating as far as that goes, but it's not going to like power a hair dryer or anything like that. So it's going to power like charge your laptop, charge your cell phone, low drain devices like that. So it's really handy on long trips in case you don't have an adapter for USB or whatever. So down here, pretty cool place. I don't have my cell phone with me because it interferes with the microphone, but you take your cell phones and you can prop them up right in here, which is pretty cool. And of course you can put business cards or whatever you want in there as well. You got a storage area here, placed cup holders in here, and this is between me and you, don't tell anybody. There is actually a secret compartment under here. So let's take this out. And look at there, secret compartment. You can hide stuff. Now you can also put the cup holders, see the little notches up there, you can put the cup holders up there if you want to. And then that way you can utilize this space more. So it all depends on what you want to do. So this is pretty cool, but the secret compartment is a secret, so I'm going to cover it up. Maybe nobody will find out about it but me and you. Okay, so it does have a storage, kind of a place to put a file folder there, full-size file folder on the driver's side as well as the passenger side there in the door. And also, this is also good, let's say you don't have a file folder. Let's say you got some book magazines or you know, mail or anything like that. It's a really good spot to just kind of, you know, put it right in there, out of the way. So here's your center console armrest. Really cool place to put a cell phone there or whatever you want to put there. And then this lifts up and you've got this cool big storage bin, multi-layer. You've got that tray. Now this tray is pretty cool. You can put stuff in there. You got another secret compartment under there. But this tray is removable and you can put the tray over there or completely out of the vehicle or whatever. So in here, you see those side pieces that held the tray up, you can actually put file folders in there and put your files and turn this into like a file cabinet, which is pretty neat. Alright, now over here we've got two more USBs, an auxiliary input and an SD card input, and this is for playing music and stuff through the sound system. Really cool. Quick access stuff there, and then there's the big open junk area where you're going to get cluttered. You're going to clutter it right up. Alright, you also have a light in there, which helps out. Another thing about this compartment, which is really cool, it has a little, for these inputs, it has these little places for wires to go in and out of that compartment, so you don't pinch them. Okay, up here we've got the rear view mirror, auto dimming, like I said, and then you've got 3 buttons: voice recognition, OnStar, and emergency button. Now OnStar, like, you literally push that and you're talking to an operator within seconds. Really handy. There's lots of cool features that OnStar provides. Pretty cool service. Alright, you have some tap lights up here for a quick reading light, and you can turn all the lights on with this button here. You can make them turn on when the door opens by putting it in that center position, or you can stop that by turning it off like that. Alright, and then these are your home link garage door opener controls there. Place to put your shades right there. So also, this is pretty cool. See that button? I'm going to show you what that does right now. Alright, keep an eye on that back there. Just keep an eye on it. Sliding, power sliding back glass. Isn't that cool? Goes pretty quick too. So that's the nifty button there. And last but not least, up here in this area, you've got your controls for the sunroof. So the sunroof is right here, and it has a shade. It covers up 100% of the light, and you can open it up like so. And so we're going to go ahead and tilt it up so you can see what it looks like there. And we can open it up all the way. See how far it goes. And of course, on a hot day like today, the sun is kind of bearing down on me. I can just go ahead and close it up. Alright, so we've got a mirror and vanity lights right here on the visors. Same thing on the passenger side. Alright, so let's take a look back here. Now this time we're not looking at the back glass, we're looking at the visibility, which is not too bad at all. All right, so what do you think about this truck? The High Country 2015 Chevy Silverado 1500 High Country. Do you like it? Have you ever driven in one? Maybe you own one, you're taking one for a test drive, you're thinking about buying one. Leave your experience in the comment section. I'd really appreciate it, and everybody else would too. Hopefully we can consolidate a bunch of information on this video so it can help as much people as possible in the future. So thank you for watching, and thank you to Judd Kuhn Chevrolet in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for allowing me to show off an awesome truck, and I'll see you next time.